And now, coming to you from the classiest radio station on the air, this is...
Check this out. Are you ready?
Hello?
Oh my God. I really gotta go.
About to experience Neon Black Chevelle.
Let me get my little situation in order. That's a little intro for y'all. You did. Golly, boy, good job, Neil. Good job, Black Chevelle. You doing your thing, boy. Once again, this is Neon Black Chevelle, and you are now listening to live on air, mind you, KWEXL Radio live stream. The Discord is in the description. And by joining that Discord, you can go ahead and talk live on the air. You got something on your mind, something you gotta say, something you wanna say. We'll follow that Discord link and you'll be talking live on the air to millions and billions. Eventually. You did. But right now, I'm talking to myself. And I'm alright with that. Because you gotta start somewhere, right? Let's go. Yeah. Okay. And I am back in full effect. This is KWEXL Radio live stream, and I'm your host with the most from the West Coast, Big Boss N3on Chevelle. Neon Black Chevelle. You dig? So with that being said, without later ado, shoot, man, let's get started. How's everybody's day going? I hope your day is going well. I hope your day is going very well. Big ups, big blessings to all y'all that's doing what y'all need to be doing. All right? With that being said, shout out to all my blue collar workers out there. You know what I'm saying? The ones that got that real grit. The ones that gotta get up and go get it. You dig? You know what I'm saying? And if you're not a blue collar worker either, that don't mean you ain't getting up to go get it. And if you are, no matter what you do, you getting up to go get it, just as long as you ain't hurting nobody. Big ups and respect, mad props and salute. So with that being said, earlier today, if you didn't catch my last stream earlier this morning, which was behind schedule, we were talking about workplace environments, bad bosses, micromanaging bosses, those strict supervisors, and those little co-workers that you just can't stand. They know how to get on your last nerve. You know the ones. But now, It is 14:51 in the afternoon, Mountain Standard Time. That is MST, Mountain Standard Time, 14:51. And for my non-military personnel, my non-military brats out there, that just means it's 2:51 p.m. All right, moving forward. Again, this is N3onBlaqChevelle, and you are tuned into KWEXL. All right. So, what is the most, we're going to keep the theme going for today, talking about work. Who wants to talk about work when you've been working all day? Hell, it's Thursday, March 5th. That means the weekend is right around the corner. You've probably been slaving at work all day, all week. It's probably hot where you are. I'm in Arizona, so it's starting to heat up a little bit. And it's only March. Anyway, I don't know your working conditions. I don't know the type of work environment you're in. But hopefully, it's one that won't drive you insane. And if it is a bit challenging, because it's a bit physically taxing or emotionally taxing or psychologically taxing, take a deep breath. Inhala. Exhala. For my non-Spanish speaking, Latin speaking, my non-Latin brethren and sisters out there, that just means inhale and exhale. Or send up a prayer to the big man. Ask him for patience. You know. So, moving forward. What is the most dangerous job you've ever had? For me, currently I am a merchant mariner, aka seafarer, aka merchant marine. No, I am not active duty. However, I do work with active duty personnel from time to time. Just depends on the contract, depends on the ship. However, me being a merchant mariner or a seafarer, I work on ships for a living. I steer the ship. And I'm talking about them big old things. Like a few years ago when that ship got stuck in that canal. Yeah, I steer those. Every time I step foot on the ship, I steer those. For months. I'm very tired when I come home. I work 7 days a week, Sunday to Sunday, when I'm on the ship. And sometimes the contract is 60 days. Sometimes it's 120, and that's 4 months. And sometimes, a lot of the time, they get extended. Dates are tentative, meaning if you have a 60-day contract, don't expect to get off in 60 days. You might get off in 75. If you have a 120, which is 4 months, you might get off in 5. Hell, I've even gotten off in 7. But after 4 months, that was by choice. I decided to stay on an extra 3 months, 30 days at a time after that. But what is the most dangerous job that you've ever had? Well, I guess I'll spark it off. I'll start it off. Before I was a merchant mariner, working out at sea, 7 days a week, and you have to sleep at some point, right? So yes, I am unconscious out at sea. Doesn't matter the weather. I am out at sea, unconscious because I need to get my rest. That's pretty dangerous, right? But before I started my seafarer career, my merchant mariner career, I did security. And I did security in San Francisco. I'm born and raised in Oakland, California, which is in the Bay Area for those who don't know. And that's literally right across the bridge from San Francisco. And the Safeway that I worked at, that I did security at, because I used to bounce and all of that type of stuff at bars and clubs and stuff. But I did security and loss prevention. And those who don't know what loss prevention is basically when a security officer at that store is dressed in civilian clothing, so not a uniform. They're dressed in civilian clothing to blend in, and they're acting like they're shopping so they can catch shoplifters. And that's what I did. And at that same store, I was also uniform security. Now that store is in San Francisco in somebody else's hood. And put it like this, I had a tussle and a scuffle with someone before. Produce everywhere. Oranges rolling, banana peels busted. Like two big 200 plus guys going at it. Right? Not even boxing, just tussling. You know. And I had a knife pulled on me before. Okay. So that's that. That's security. And the third job, though another job I had before that one was, again, I'm from Oakland, California, the Bay Area, and if you're not aware that California is the land of earthquakes, and we cannot predict earthquakes like Florida can predict hurricanes, like the Midwest probably can tell just by looking up in the sky, like, oh, that ain't good. That looks like that there's going to be a twister. Yes, I said that there. No, I don't think that's how everyone in the Midwest talks. Um, so yeah, in California, we can't predict earthquakes. Why is that relevant to my question and the stories that I'm going to be telling on this stream today? Well, because I did seismic retrofitting. Before all of this, I did seismic retrofitting. And with seismic retrofitting, for those who don't know, because I didn't know, and I lived in California. Well, seismic retrofitting is making sure you're making buildings earthquake proof. That is the simplest way I can say it. And you're like, wait a minute, hold on, time out. Buildings are already supposed to be earthquake proof. You're right, they are. However, as time goes on, buildings settle, foundations start to settle even more inside of the soil that it's sitting on. And sometimes they crack. And you got to remember, this is California, so there's been previous earthquakes that the building and the foundation has withstood. Stood strong. And now it's just time for us to retrofit it. Okay? Seismic, that's for the earthquake part. Retrofit is basically to upgrade it. Okay? So those are three dangerous occupations: seismic retrofitting, being security, and being a merchant mariner living on a ship months at a time, working 7 days a week. And you have to put your trust in your fellow seafarers. Okay. So let's start with seismic retrofitting. So how do you make a building earthquake proof? You have to crawl underneath it. Point simple blank. You have to crawl underneath it. So you find all type of stuff down there. Black widows, wolf spiders, little beady eyes looking at you from a distance. Yeah, it's like a raccoon or a possum or something like that. I don't want to get scratched or bitten by anything like that. I don't care how much I weigh and how tall I am. I don't give a crap. I don't care how big I am. Those things are little and they creep me out. So, with that being said, you got to crawl into the building in California, which is earthquake land. And you can't predict when the earthquake comes. So if one comes, and I used to ask the guys all the time because I was the newest guy on the block, so to speak, right, at the job. I would ask them. I would say, so what do we do? I asked them once actually, because you don't keep asking after you get an answer like that. I said, so what do you do when or if an earthquake happens? They said, hell, shit. You clench your ass cheeks together and you hold on tight. I said, okay. He said, yeah, there's not much you can do. I mean, you can try to crawl out of there, you know. But if it's your time, if the good Lord decides to take you, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Ain't nothing you can do about that, ain't it? They ain't lying. Thankfully, there was never an earthquake. I did that job for 7 months. That is some pretty dangerous shit. That is some pretty dangerous shit, you know. No, it's not like them boys in Texas, man, climbing up them poles, going after them wires and all of that stuff, man. It ain't like that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, some dangerous stuff. Moving on to my security gig. I've seen a gun pulled on somebody. I mean, growing up in Oakland, but I'm talking about like on the job, right? I was bouncing at this metal bar downtown, and they played metal music. I'm not going to say the name, but it was in downtown Oakland, and I was a bouncer there. And there's a van kind of blocking my view of the street as I'm, sitting on the stool outside of the door, outside of the bar. And so there's a van, like I can see the street in front of me. The street is literally like horizontal in front of me. Like I can see the street and I look over, I can see the intersection to my right, and I can kind of see the intersection a little bit to my left, but because the van is right there, right? Like a big Ford E350, Economy 350 with no windows in it. You know what I'm saying? Like the kind that don't have windows, right? So I can't see through it, you know what I mean? So it's kind of obstructing my vision a little bit. Long story short, man, I hear this pitter patter of feet. This dude, this is at night. It's a metal bar. This dude comes from around the front, from the street side of the van. Quickly, as soon as I heard his feet, that's as soon as I saw him, ran past me into the establishment, which is small. Well, before he did that, he ran and he had to step on the curb and tripped on the curb. Oh, shit. Soon as he fell, another dude ran up behind him, aimed a 380 at him, revolver. No, it was a 38. It was a 38. He aimed a 38. Click, click, click. I'll never forget that. And the dude with the gun ran off. 3 clicks, click, click, click. Ran off. Ran off the way he came. I'm sitting there. So then the dude gets up, runs inside, and I'm just, all right. I get off the stool. Because what was I going to do? Right? It all happened so fast, I literally had no time to react. I'm not trying to act like I'm big bad N3onBlaqChevelle. Nah, I'm not saying that. It just all happened so fast. This happened 10 seconds is way too long. Like this happened all in a matter of like 5 seconds. Like he came, he fell, he came across, click, 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 ran off. So I'm just like, and I just exhaled like, I was annoyed. I remember being annoyed. I was like, damn. Because I was like, man, I got to go inside and get this dude now. Like, so I did that. He's behind the bar, doesn't know the guy is gone. I said, hey, man, the bartender, little petite, little Greek-looking chick back there, bro. She was just looking spooked, bro. I say Greek because she was like her hair was pretty dope, bro. Like it was like hella black and like hella long and curly and shit. Like only like some shit you see in like Spartacus or something, bro. Like that shit was raw. And she spooks, bro. You know what I'm saying? She probably weighed like 120 soaking wet. You know what I'm saying? I said, real cool, calm and collected, like, hey, bro, you got to get up out of here. Come on. Come on, bro. He trying to kill me, bro. You saw that, bro. It happened right there in front of you. Da, 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 da. I said, I understand. I said, but he's gone. He ran off. I said, he's gone. Come on, bro. Just let me call somebody. Da, 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 da. I said, bro, you can call him outside. Bro, come on, bro. So he came from behind the thing. I said, bro, he's gone. I said, and if he's not gone, bro, we both getting shot together, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro, come on. Nah, come on. So he eventually comes outside. I ain't got to put my hands on him or nothing like that. And then he dipped. You know what I'm saying? Like he dipped. That was that situation in security. Another situation, I'm at a Safeway in a hood in San Francisco. Or it's kind of like because it's a Safeway, so it's not in the hood, but it is San Francisco. So, and it's because of the type of location, a lot of homeless people, transients, not the alphabet community people. I'm talking transients. A transient is somebody that is, put it like this, the less fortunate. the homeless, that cardboard box lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? They come in and they tend to steal. That is what a transient is. So, with that being said, I never really had any issues from like, oh yeah, and don't get me wrong, like some people from some hoods and stuff, they slide through and they be trying to 5 finger discount some stuff. You feel me? Some free 99, but I had the gift of gab, and I still do, and I used what I call verbal judo, and that basically is when you can use your words to de-escalate a situation without having to get physical, and I did that rather well. Okay, so because I got down with them. Well, shit, bro, we was already on the same level. Me and those people that was coming from hoods trying to steal baby formula and Tide Pods to resell them and stuff, right? So, and you can look the Tide Pods people up on the news, bro, in San Francisco. It was these kids. They was trying to steal Tide Pods, and I told them, I was like, bro, just don't do it on my shift. Because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell them, hey, don't steal. You know what I'm saying? Like, they heard that all the time, bro. I'm like, look, bro, you're still gonna steal whether if I tell you to or not. Just don't do it on my shift, because don't make me do my job, a job that I don't want to have to do, but I will. And they understood that and they respected that. And I also told them, like, bro, just because I got this job doesn't mean, and I'm straight, doesn't mean that other people was good. I understand that, and they respected that too. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't do it on my shift. You know what I'm saying? But there was this one guy. I mean, I've seen guys walk in there looking like an extra from The Walking Dead, leaning to the side, faces just with the needle still in his arm, bruh, in the refrigerated section trying to get a beer, right? I'm like, bro, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? He left. It was a little challenging getting him out because, like I said, he was hopped up. You know what I'm saying? He got the needle literally walking around with the needle still stuck in his arm, bro. You know what I'm talking about? That's at the Safeway doing security. Another story at the Safeway doing security, man. There was this. I'm 5'11", 250 now. At the time, I was what 210, but I stayed in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Um, with that being said, there was like this guy that came in off the streets, and he was just like 6'2", 6'3", probably the same weight. You know what I'm saying? And like 210 or something like that around my weight back then. And he tried to steal a whole bunch of produce, like a bunch of New York strip steaks and all of that, bro, like little packs of chicken and stuff. And he has on this big overcoat type jacket, bro, and it's bulging, like he's holding it shut. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, I can see you're trying to steal. Like I even seen him from my door. I can see you, bro. Like he was disrespectful. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. He was known to be disrespectful to the point where, like, the manager, and I forgot to say this on my Twitch stream, the manager, cool Asian cuz that was the manager of that Safeway, bro. He was all like, oh yeah, nah, him, yeah, he's a problem. Like he's da 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 da, he's always in here. Da, 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 da. That was my first time seeing him though. I'm like, all right, for sure. Like he ain't never been here on my shift. He's like, nah, but that's him. He's highly disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like if you need some backup, let me know. I'm like, nah, I got it. It's cool. My backup is at the other end of the store, guarding the other door. Right? He doesn't even know this guy is here though. But the Safeway that I'm working at, it's not big to the point where it's like a Costco or a freaking Walmart. You know what I'm saying? And even at Walmart, you can see from that end of the store to that end of the store where that door is and where that door is. You know what I'm saying? From those said doors, it ain't that damn big. You know what I'm saying? Is what I'm trying to say, bruh. Homeless dude came in, bruh, already looking like he want a problem. You feel me? So I'm just watching him from my door. Man, he's stuffing his jacket, bruh, to the brim, my dude. Like he trying to bull rush past me with the jacket full of produce, bruh. And I'm like, oh nah. So I extend my arm like, nah, bruh. And he tried to smack my hand out the way. So, bruh, hey, next thing I know, bro, we're tussling in produce. There's oranges and banana peels everywhere, bruh. All you needed was just, I don't know, JR or Larry Prince Lawler from WWF back in the day, now called WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, it was going down. We weren't throwing punches, but, bro, we was scuffling. Two big mouths. Bruh, oranges and apples everywhere, bro, for real. You know what I'm saying? And, So eventually, you know what I'm saying, like, he was getting with me. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? He was getting with me. But eventually I did subdue him. You know what I'm saying? Got him on his stomach, put his hand behind his back, and had my weight on his upper back. You know what I'm saying? With my knee and shit. So he wasn't going nowhere. He talking a whole bunch of crap. All type of shit. You know what I'm saying? He woofing at me and all of that stuff. I'm like, I call on the radio like, man, it's a scuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, like, hey, I need your assistance. Come over here. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And my last stream too on Twitch that I just got off of, I didn't say that I called in my partner earlier, but I can't imagine me not doing that. But I don't remember calling him in. But what I do remember is after it was all said and done, me and my partner got him up off the floor. You know what I'm saying? Got the manager and all of that stuff. Manager called 5-0. You know, the cops, they came, took dude away. You know what I'm saying? Put him in the car, and took him away. Right? You feel me? So I'm talking to my partner, and like, you know, when you talking to somebody, you can kind of see how they feel and all of that stuff, bro. Like, bro, the store not that big, bro, and it was a real scuffle, bro. Like produce and all types, all type of stuff everywhere. Like little mama that used to work there, bro, a little Latina chick, she was hella cool, bro. She had to clean all that up. I'm like, bro, you want some help, bro? She's like, nah, it's cool, bro. I'm like, all right, for sure, bro. Like, I'm looking at him like, man, where was you at, bro? He was always over there at the door. Like, man, you can literally take like 5 steps forward and see what's going on. And it was a big scuffle. Do you see all this produce? Yeah, man, look crazy. Da, 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 da. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. And the way he was kind of looking and stuff, like, he looked like, put it like this, bro. He went out. And if you're not familiar with what going out means, you ever heard somebody say, shoot, bro, I ain't going. Well, it's like, I ain't going out. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So, bro, he went out, bro. He not about that. Observe and report what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I know that Safeways and establishments like that, like huge commercial establishments, have the type of insurance where everything in that store is insured. However, my name and my reputation is on the line, and I'm not going to be the guy or one of the other security guards that you can have your way with when they're on the clock, because he was having his way with other people that was on the clock, bruh, and you're not going to have your way while I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Because you just disrespectful, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I let people get away with some shit. For sure, I let people get away with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers that was stealing formula and all the shit, I let them know, like, hey, bro, you doing way too much. Like, bro, whether if you trying to sell that shit, which they was most likely trying to do 9 times out of 10, or if you got a little one at the house or a literal little ones at the house, bro, you're not leaving with all of that, bro. I can let you get away with one, G. You know what I'm saying? But all of this shit you got to put up. Oh, for sure, bro. Oh, this nigga, you hella cool, bro, for sure, but everybody else be tripping. I be like, look, bro, I can't always let you leave with something, bro, but I mean, like, man, you look at all of that, bro. You trying to sell the shit, whatever you trying to do, bro, like, I'll let you leave with one, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Put a little money in your pocket, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Make it look like I'm doing my job. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So that's how that was. So that's security. Now, a merchant mariner, living on a ship, working on a ship, man. Shoot, man, working from Sunday to Sunday, man, you get fatigued, and I'm talking about for months at a time, at least 2 months to 4 months, and 4 can turn into 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? And you're working every day. You get no days off, even on holidays. Some days, you know, it's slower than others, but a lot of the time, bruh, you're doing the same thing every day at the same level. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, my brothers and sisters and uncles and nieces and all of that stuff, my uncles and aunties and nephews and nieces and stuff that's in the blue collar construction field, industrial field. You know what I'm saying? I say that we're industrial athletes. You know what I'm saying? And what do I mean by that? An industrial athlete? Well, what is that, Neon Black? Well, shoot, man. An industrial athlete is somebody that is in the industrial industry, right? And they work at least 5 days out of the week. And it's physically taxing. I'm not talking about you're in the little box with the AC in there and you pushing paper and shit like foremans. And no, I ain't talking about that, bro. Shout out to them too, because they got work to do too. They got a position to play and a role to do and all of that duties of their own. I'm talking about the ones that's in that sun that's breaking their back. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about when you see the Migos and stuff doing their thing. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? I'm talking about the brothers and the sisters that be out there, you feel me, on the ships and also doing construction and shit. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? That type of work. Real blue collar labor. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, even the bus drivers that be driving these little badass kids and shit, they not they kids, bruh. Those kids belong to somebody else, but they still showing up to drive them little badass, little heathens, little crumb snatchers every day. You know what I'm saying? Sit down, Jimmy. Sit down, Tara. Sit down. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Salute to you. Kids are monsters. Little precious things. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? People that be out there getting it. But industrial workers, man. We're industrial athletes because just like the NFL, just like the NBA, you know what I'm saying? These top tier sporting events, you know what I'm saying? Like they're expected to perform like it's their first day, right? They're expected to perform like the first day they stepped on that field. And we, as a merchant mariner, we're expected to perform. Whether if you're on that ship for 4 months straight, 5, 6 months straight, if you decided to stay on the ship that long, because after 4 months, they start asking you, like, do you want to stay if they can't get you a relief? You want to stay for another 30 days? You'd be like, hell yeah. They'd be like, all right, for sure. You know what I'm saying? But they're expecting you to perform like it's your first 2 weeks at work. Okay? Just like the NFL and the NBA, how we expect them to perform like it's their first game. Fresh. Able-bodied. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that we're industrial athletes, because we're expected to perform at our highest level, our best level, each and every day, 7 days a week, literally, from Sunday to Sunday. That in itself can be dangerous, because a coworker can be fatigued, they can become complacent. You know, they're so used to doing the every day the same way, they might skip a step or they might miss something. Maybe they're just not too sharp that day because they're going on 5 months or 4 months or whatever. You don't know what he's got going on at home. His mindset is on at home. His mind, he's already on the couch chilling. Next thing you know, he messes up, drops something, or something sparks, and that hurts you. That's a form of danger. It's a reality. The obvious form of danger is being on a ship and it sinks. Being on a ship and there's pirates in the water. Being on a ship and it catches fire. Fun fact, fires are the number one reasons on why a vessel would sink. Fires are the number one dangers on a ship. And I am a firefighter on a ship. I have basic firefighter training and CPR and all of that stuff. And I know how to use the tools. You know, I took the classes and everything. I have the proof. It's Joe Sacco's firefighting school in Piney Point, Maryland. And is it Joe Sacco? If you guys ask me what it is, I'll definitely fact check that. But I think it's Joe Sacco. Joe Sacco Firefighting School, Piney Point, Maryland, in Southern Maryland. And yeah, man, sat us down in class and we got some hands-on training and all of that. And I still got to do that every 5 years. Yes, we have to don the suit and everything, from the boots to the pants to the jacket to the flash hood to the helmet, you know, to the SCBA on our back. And yes, if you're not passing that class if you don't put it on fast enough. I think they gave us when I went there, because they're always changing stuff because of the students that's showing up. The later in the years we get, the softer people get. But when I was going there, they said you got a minute. You have 60 seconds to put all of this on. I was like, the hell you thought what? But guess what? Do you know how long a minute is? Your pants are already, they should already be connected to your boots. Like your boots go inside of each leg of the pants. So then you roll the overall pants down to the boots. So all you do is you slip your boots on, bop, 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 grab the straps, put them on your shoulder, grab that jacket, you know what I'm saying? Put that flash hood on, actually, put that flash hood on first, grab that jacket, boom, put that jacket on, put your helmet on. Or actually, no, put your SCBA on, click, click, strap that, pull the straps down, and then you put your helmet on, because sometimes they tell you to go on air, sometimes they tell you not to go on air. Put your helmet on, and you want to put your gloves on last, because those big, thick gloves, bro, oh my goodness, it is difficult to do anything tedious. There's a strap that you have to click one end of the strap to the other end of the strap. You know, those little plastic old school connectors. You clip it in, click, and then you squeeze it to unclip it. Like, those are on the firefighter helmets that we have. And you would want to connect that, or your helmet could eventually fall off, right? Depending on what you got going on. Man, I'm not. I still can't grab that or locate that damn thing with my gloves on. So I always put my gloves on last. You know, but and then of course you have people that's there helping you as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about when you're on the ship. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got designated people like from the steward department that'll help you put on your gear and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? But at the school, oh no, you're doing it by yourself. But now I think it's 2 minutes. You got to put it on in 2 minutes to pass. But yeah, dangerous on the ships, man. It's dangerous on the waters. Especially nowadays, if you're going through the whatever straits those are over there in the Middle East and all of that stuff, man, like, it's dangerous, you know? And we sail in times of peace and in war. I'm a merchant mariner. Merchant Marines, look them up, man. I am not active duty. No, I am not, but I am a merchant mariner, and we used to be called Merchant Marines back in World War II times. Look it up. A lot of us died. A lot of us died. Okay. Moment of silence for my brothers and sisters that passed away doing their job. And that concludes our moment of silence for our brothers and sisters that did their job, died on duty. From law enforcement to merchant mariners to active duty military personnel. Shoot. You know, emergency personnel, everybody. You know, shout out to y'all, man. But yeah, so the most dangerous job, it's a toss-up between those three, you know, because you got to go to sleep at some time on the ship, and, you know, you got to put your trust in your partner, just like you got to put your trust in your partner if you're a security officer, just like you got to put your trust in your partner if you're on a ship. You know, doing the seismic retrofitting, crawling underneath houses and all of that stuff, and commercial buildings and all of that stuff in the land of earthquakes, which is California. You know, I mean, that's dangerous too. But I mean, how often does an earthquake happen? How often does an American vessel sink? You know what I mean? You know, how often do you encounter somebody? I had a knife pulled on me. Oh, I've got to change that. It says N3onBlaqChevelle Gaming. Gaming. It's supposed to say gaming. But anyway, it's all dangerous, man. I guess there's levels of danger, you know? I mean, because then what would the question be? What's more dangerous? Doing seismic retrofitting, or what them guys do down there in Texas, man, climbing up them electrical poles? You know? Each one you do every day. You climb a pole every day. You crawl underneath the house every day. But I think it's between those two, for the sake of the example and the conversation. I think it has to do with the consistency. Every time they climb a pole, yeah, the power is supposed to be off. You know what I'm saying? You turn the power off and all of that. Sometimes they don't turn the power off. You know what I'm saying? It's like the risk factor and how often that risk factor exists. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said, how often does an earthquake happen? You know what I mean? But then, if an earthquake does happen and you are underneath a building, who's to say that that earthquake ain't gonna be the one that's gonna just topple that building? Because this building's been standing for how long? When was this building made? How many earthquakes, major earthquakes, have we had? And it's still here. And this is your first time getting it seismic retrofitted? Interesting. Because seismic retrofitting ain't cheap. Mm-hmm. But then climbing them poles. Them boys in Texas, man, got my mad respect. Climbing them poles up there, man. Especially in the storms. But I mean, how many storms do they have that actually topple over poles and stuff? Probably more than the amount of earthquakes that topple over buildings in California. So, in my honest, humble opinion, out of those two, which is more dangerous? I'd say them pole climbers. Now, out of the three that I've worked, which is the most dangerous? Seismic retrofitting, security, loss prevention, or living and working on a ship in the middle of the ocean in all types of weather and conditions. I want to hear what you guys think. Which one do you think is the most dangerous? And send me some jobs you think are highly dangerous, that have a high risk factor. But out of the three that I've worked, I'd say the most dangerous job that I ever worked was probably, out of those three, probably security. Because every day there was something. Not every day was as bad as the scuffle or seeing a guy walk around with a syringe in his arm. You know, not every day I had to, raise my voice and stick my chest out and do my job. However, I was dealing with an amount of different people to where I was dealing with different people every day, and I never knew who was coming. I knew what to expect in the grand scheme of things, but at the same time, though, you're not, like, when you're on a ship, it's pretty routine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do the same thing every day pretty much. It's pretty routine. So you know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Doing seismic retrofitting, it's pretty routine. You know exactly what you're going to get yourself into. We're going to crawl under the buildings today and drill and dig and all of that stuff. Bolt stuff to the foundation. Like, what was it, like 2x8s or something? We're bolting 2x6s and 2x8s to the foundation. Like, and underneath a building. Like, you know what to expect. Yes, an earthquake can happen, but that's not, the chances of that is whatever to whatever, you know what I'm saying? The chances of the ship sinking is from whatever to whatever, but the chances of running into somebody having a bad day, they're trying to steal for whatever reason. Put it like this, they're stealing for whatever reason they think it's worth their freedom. Because after a certain dollar amount in California, it's a felony. Okay? So if they're stealing just a bunch of crap, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're literally risking, even if it's a misdemeanor and they want to press charges and, you know what I'm saying, and they have priors and all of that stuff, well, they're still risking their freedom. So you got to think that person is knowingly risking their freedom, right? For whatever reason. So you don't really know where their mindset is at when it comes to physical confrontation. So that's why I think that being a security officer in that setting, where you're encountering different people, then they have a high volume of foot traffic that goes through there of people that are willing to steal, willing to, like, I just can't say it enough, risk their freedom to steal Safeway products. And I get it, man. You got to do what you got to do. I've been there. You got to do what you got to do, bro. I was never big on thievery. I mean, I had my little spurts, which were actually big things, but I mean, I stopped, and that's a story for another day. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was big bad Black Chevelle, man. I thought I was big bad Neon Black, bro. And I ran into somebody, man. I tried to take something from him. Oh, bro. I didn't think he was that strong, bro. Ropey motherfucker, bro. That nigga, I stuck him like right in his face. Grabbed his little man purse satchel, bro. This is years ago, bro. I'm 36 now. This is like, I had my daughter at 27, shoot, but this is like when I'm like 21, 22, bro. And I tried to, bro, he ate that punch and yoked me up, bro, snatched me, bro, held me down. And was gonna call the cops. I'll tell you about that story another time, bro, because that's why I stopped stealing. Shoot, boy. You think you Billy Badass until you meet Billy Badass, boy. I tell you that. But that's a story for another time. But yeah, man. So I had my little moments way back in the day, man, of thievery and stealing and stuff, man. But so I get it. I get it. But yeah, man, I would have to say, for the sake of the conversation, for the sake of the live stream, I'd have to say that security, out of the three jobs that I said that I've had, out of the two that I had, and the one that I currently have, which is being a merchant mariner working on ships, I'd say the most dangerous occupation was being loss prevention slash security. So yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well today. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for stopping by, man. You guys can always stop by. You know, leave a comment, sub, whatever it is. You know what to do. I guess sometimes we got to remind you to do it, but man, you know what to do. If you like the content, man, just social support. I really appreciate you guys even just listening for the 2 seconds or shoot forever, how long this was. But again, this is N3onBlaqChevelle. You can find me on Twitch at N3onBlaqChevelle. And again, this is KWEXL. And I know at the bottom it says, well, you can't see it, but I'm reading it. It says NBC YouTube live stream. Well, NBC is N3onBlaqChevelle, obviously, right? But I have this is my live radio show that I like doing, and on my Twitch it's called KWEXL Radio live stream. You should be able to find it with KWEXL, but KWEXL live stream, and the Discord link for that is in this description. So I'm basically just kind of combining them both because I am N3onBlaqChevelle and I have KWEXL live stream, because when you join that Discord, that it'll take you to that. But on Twitch, my name is N3onBlaqChevelle. So maybe it's a bit confusing, but y'all will be all right. So I appreciate you guys being here, man. And I'll be back. Let's go. Let's grow. Shoot, man, let's get it.